You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table, where we chop up local and global events vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little, get that wine in your system, fill your glass a little, expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. Get addicted to the content, gotta binge watch it. You don't like it, then you want invited. Bet your friends watching in the house and in your job parking lot before you clock it. They don't wanna miss a second of this HT content. Everybody think they got something to say, so it's an open invitation, bring it to the table. But if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn your back and tell you sorry, try again, Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey!
I was trying to find music for my stuff.
Honey, let me tell you, my niece, she's a rapper from Omaha. Okay. And she's I don't know if you might have heard of her, but do you know Daphne Woodall?
That name sounds very familiar.
She's a singer, and she has a daughter named Tylynn, and she's a rapper. Okay. And she has a YouTube channel. She's on Facebook, IG, Tylynn Music, and she will drop them bars for you. If you and I got her information, I posted on every video I do.
The link, because I already had the background music.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I did. I gave her the background music. I'm telling you, and she spits bars like no tomorrow. Like all you gotta do is give her the music.
Yes, definitely that link, because I'm trying to figure out all this stuff. So my launch in November will be great. So
yes, gotta have some good music. But yeah, I love it. I love her. But yeah, and she's really reasonable as far as
Yeah. Oh no, I pay coins.
Well, welcome everybody. We already got people coming into the chat for our live interview with the beautiful Martine Mayo.
Hey. Oh, I don't know. Pushed a button. I don't know what I just did. Hold up. There I go. There I'm back.
Oh, and also if you push, I think you're on your phone, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there should be a link down below that says live chat. So if you click live chat, you can actually see the comments as they come in, if people ask questions or anything like that.
Okay. It just to see when I do that. Hold up. When I do that, it takes you away. Maybe it's the iPhone. I don't know.
Yeah, because I got an Android, so I don't know how exactly to work the iPhones.
Okay.
But
it's okay.
Well, if anybody asks questions,
just tell me like the questions if somebody has a question.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Hey, Torres, welcome to the chat. Everybody come on in. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the Hood Table, of course, if you're not already subscribed. And I'm going to have my guest go ahead and introduce herself.
Oh, when we go start now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all. I am Martine Mayo. I am originally from Omaha, Nebraska, but I'm now residing in Dallas, Texas. And I am the nail nerd. That's trademarked.
Let them know. Let them know.
It's trademarked. That's my name. I am a licensed esthetician, a licensed nail tech. Been a licensed esthetician for 10 years now. A licensed nail tech for 15 years. I have won in business, lost in business, had highs, lows. So I know a lot of what you shouldn't do, what you should not do, should not do. And I'm currently in the process of launching a brand new podcast and a whole new type of way of doing business in the beauty business, which I can't go into full detail yet because I haven't launched it yet. But the podcast, my very first little blurb of a podcast is on my website, www.thenailnerdbiz.com, so you can check it out.
And I did listen to it and I loved it.
Oh, thank you.
You sound like you're made to do this. Like I've never done podcasts really, but I guess it's kind of like YouTube, except for they just hear your voice. And you do have like that radio broadcast voice. So
Thank you. That makes me feel good because I really just, I'm not gonna lie, I sat on the couch because I had just figured out how to record the podcast that day. So I was like, let me just try to do this. And I waited till like everybody was gone. It was just me and the dog. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do like 10 minutes. And I'm gonna see how. I just wanted to see how the process went, and then also in the process, I'm like, well, you kind of figure out what I'm gonna be doing with this, but there's some. I definitely got some things planned for the nail nerd, not the conventional nail tech kind of business. I'll go into a little bit once we get there, but definitely taking it to a different level at this point.
Well, I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to supporting you as always. I wanted to ask you just to let us know a little bit about. Excuse me, still getting on my little cold.
Oh no, you good? I got allergies. I sneeze.
Yes, that's what it is, allergies. But when I was younger, I used to want to do nails because I just thought it was. I mean, I'm a cake decorator, but I kind of compare that to nail art because you really have to be really creative.
Yes.
And try to also be authentic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when I was younger, I used to hate how I would get my nails done by certain people's and all the designs look alike and everybody be like, oh, you must have had her do your nails.
Things have so evolved, like especially social media now. Nails have like blown up.
They really have. But what got you started into doing nails?
My story is a little different. So I had a lot of people may know I was in the military from 2000 2004. At the time, I was married and I had 2 little babies at the time. We were stationed in Montana, Great Falls, Montana, at Mount Air Force Base. And I was actually in school for my bachelor's degree. My pillow's coming down, sorry. I was in Montana and I was in school. So I was going to school at the time, but I've always loved the beauty industry. The reason how I even got into like loving the beauty industry was Miss Pinky. A lot of people don't even know this. Miss Pinky at Artis, the salon.
I remember her.
Yes, and she just passed away. But she actually was my inspiration. A lot of people do not know that. And I don't talk about it often, but she did my hair from a very young age. And I always enjoyed going to see her because my mom had a flower shop, which was not too far down the street, Floral Creations by Tola Z.
Okay, I remember that place too.
So that's my mom. And so she didn't have time to do my hair. She was too busy being an entrepreneur. And she had 3 daughters she was raising. So she took me to Miss Pinky and got my hair done every 2 weeks. And I had very long, very thick hair. But Miss Pinky always had fun in there. It was always like everybody in there, Rodney, everybody that was in there. I just
Rodney can do some hair, boy.
Yes, I remember he was doing those sculpted ponytails. I was right in the seat behind him watching all that. So shout out to him. But anyways, that's really where I got my love for that. And then kind of fast forward into my teenage years. I like I said, I always got my hair done, and I started getting my nails done. And I would always either just polish them or I just started getting my nails done. But I just always loved the look of really nice nails. Like there was just something about it. And so I used to dip I also used to dabble in my mom's Mary Kay kit. She used to have a little Mary Kay kit. Like she had it. She really still that thing, but she had it. So I used to dabble on that. So that's kind of where the love of beauty came from. But then I went to the military. Didn't do like really to get into my hair or nothing like that. I just kind of just threw my BDUs on and just went to work. I really didn't do my nails.
In the military, they don't usually allow all that.
Not too much glam. They kind of leaned a little bit, but you can get your nails done. You just have to be in regs. I got my nails done one time when I was in Montana. And that same night, I remember like you had to roll your window down. It's my first car. I was rolling my window down. My nails broke. And I was like, I'm never getting my nails done again. So I didn't get my nails done. I used to love getting my nails done. Like literally at basic training, like going to basic training on the plane, I was clipping them off. Like that's how I was so serious about my nails. Anyways, fast forward, I'm rambling. Fast forward, 2006, I'm in school. I have these 2 kids and I always wanted my own day spa. And I wanted to go to aesthetic school first. But they didn't have an aesthetic school in Great Falls, Montana. So they had nail school. And I was like, I'll go and do nails. I mean, I never picked up a nail brush, never did nails ever. Just polished my own. Went to nail school. I was horrible. I just was horrible. Like I was horrible. But there was something that kept me going. Like I kept.
Well, what was the hardest part? Was it like the applying the what do they call it? The
acrylic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was Tammy Taylor acrylic. And it was first of all the smell. I was like, whoa, like when you up on it, you're like, whoa, I've gotten used to it. I don't think I have nose hairs anymore. but I started off with that, and it just was kind of just getting the proportions right. I guess your powder to liquid ratio, making sure that it's not too dry, it's not too wet, and then
not too thick.
Yeah, and just making sure that it's just right. And I was practicing on a plastic finger. But that was like, I did that. I got my nail license, but I still stuck with it. Like, I stuck with it. I used to, like, I mean, I'm still to the point right now where people have to stop telling me, like, stop buying nail stuff. I just kept buying and teaching myself. And then kind of fast forward. So shortly after that, we moved to North Carolina. And I just kept going. I would say my first nail mentor she's a really good friend of mine still. Her name is Tish. And she gave me like my first little bit of advice on starting to do nails. And she was like, because I wanted her to do I was like, if you can do my right hand, because that's the hardest hand to do, I'll do my left hand. She was like, well, if you're going to be a good nail tech, you need to learn how to do them both. And she was right, because it just taught me so much detail. So that's how I really got into nails. I just never stopped. And I did whatever I could to keep training. I went to classes. I spent like a lot of money on just training and going.
It's very expensive though, but it's kind of like once you get so many things though, you get some of that stuff you can use for a very long time.
Yes, like I have glitters from probably when I first started. But I mean, there's just so many things. Like the nails is always evolving. It's always evolving. And stuff is always coming back. So stuff that I was doing like 10 years ago is like popular now. Like
the acrylic.
I was doing like glitter and all that stuff long
time. Well, see, you know what? I used to be confused. I used to get my nails done all the time, but then when I started, being a cake decorator, I didn't like some things you could do when you make cakes with gloves, but some things you just can't do. You can't frost a cake decently with gloves on, because you got to be careful not to touch the cake. Right. And so I would get like frosting in I just had to rip them off. I haven't worn nails in like 5 years because that.
You a set of press-ons.
I'm like, I need something, because I'm like, I like wearing nails, and I've been wearing them since I was like 16 years old. But because of the cake business and the frostings and the colors, like, oh my God, getting cake color on it's a wrap.
I know. No, I get it. Trust me, even with aesthetics, if you're doing facials and stuff, I can't wear them too long, but I'm not doing facials right now. But I remember I always get stuck in my nails and stuff like that. You gotta be careful. But the beautiful thing is press-ons, and press-ons have been around for so long. And when COVID hit, that's when everybody wanted press-ons.
Yes, the press-ons. But how long do they last, though? How long do they last?
It depends. So it just really depends on your prep of your nail place. So if you can just you buff it a little bit, dehydrate it with some like an alcohol pad or something like that. And then you can use little tabs that can last for about, I would say the tabs do about a good 3 days. But there's some tips that I've done that I put on myself with glue, just brush on glue. And I'm doing the prep correctly. And they last almost 2 weeks. So it just depends on how you prep the nail and put them on. So and like how long you want them to last. Because if you glue them on and you pull them off, it's a whole thing. I won't want to get into. That's where the nail nerd part come out of me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to get on to something as far as what we have brought up with the Rona, but we're gonna get into that a little later. But when you said you had you started your business up here in Omaha, you're now in Texas right now. Yes, so when you were up here, I remember, when you had got your shop together and everything, and it was super, super exciting, and you guys had a grand opening, all that kind of stuff. And it was like, you always, like, if you're a decent human being and you're Black and you believe in Black girl magic,
right?
When you see Black women do certain things, entrepreneurship, nails, hair, whatever, you cheer them on, and you want, you wish them the best.
Right.
And that's what I did for you. And also, one of my god sisters was working up there with you, Robin.
Yes,
my god sister. And I was all excited because she was into, learning how to do nails at the time too. But tell us a little bit about that, because one day we were at the grand opening, and then And that's where we want to get into like the do's and don'ts, you know.
And I learned so much from that. I'll kind of start from the beginning on how it even started.
Okay.
So I was presented with an opportunity to take over this day spa, chill body day spa. Mm-hmm. And at first I wasn't going to, I was like, no, I'm not in a position to do that. No, ma'am. Like, I don't want to do it. So I really was actually going to turn it down. And so then I had presented the opportunity, or not really, it was an opportunity, I guess, at the time, but I was just actually doing the person's nails, my business partner at the time, her nails. And I was like, girl, I guess somebody just, presented this opportunity, blah, 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 blah. And she was like, she offered her services or whatever she was going to do and put her part in it. And I was like, okay, well, if you want to go ahead and do this, let's do this together. Okay. And that's how that started.
So was she into nails too, or was she into a whole different?
She was a client. I had felt like we had developed a friendship over a span of a couple of years, 2-3 years, I thought. And so when I had presented, because she was an entrepreneur herself, so there was no reason for me not to trust her. I didn't know anything bad about this person, and to this day, I'm not gonna say anything bad about her.
Right.
I just, I wish her the best. But at the time, I thought we was cool. I thought I could trust her. And that's number one business rule. You don't trust nobody unless the stuff is on paper. Everything must be on paper, and you must have your own lawyers, both of y'all. That's something I did not do. But we did. I have my lawyer. Mm-hmm. We ended up taking, we got the information from the owner of the spa, took it to the lawyer, and we just wanted this spa. Like, we just wanted it so bad.
And it was beautiful. That whole place was gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Just still to this day, I'm like, oh, it was so pretty. It was literally like, once I get there, I'll tell you in a minute, because it was a complete scam. Just scam. It was.
Wow.
But my lawyer at the time, if you ever need a lawyer, Woody Bradford out there in Omaha, mm-hmm. he's gonna tell you, like, he told us, he was like, he looked at the lease, he was like, this is not a good lease. We're like, we'll figure it out. Like, we got this. And we did all the paperwork, we submitted the LLC to the state, got it approved, everything, did the organization, all that stuff. And signed the lease. And took over the business, and finally really looked at the numbers, and the numbers weren't that great. They weren't that great. Mm-hmm. We were making money, but we weren't making money, if that makes sense. So we had people coming in, but after all the bills, it was like, okay, this lady gave us these numbers, and they weren't the real.
Oh. So she told you, like, how much the average?
No, well, I had requested the financials.
Okay.
Like, that was one thing that I had requested, and come to find out, things weren't really kept right. But I'll be honest with you, that didn't deter me. Mm-hmm. That didn't bother me. I was like, okay, if you put a good marketing plan, you got to put a plan together. Mm-hmm. And this spa had been around for a long time. So I was like, this spa, it was in the richest zip code in the state.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So there was money already coming in there. It just wasn't, I felt like it wasn't managed properly by the previous owner. Okay. 2, I felt like this spa had not even been introduced to a whole nother part of the city, which I felt like Black people needed to come out. It wasn't too far out. It was like in a really good spot, mm-hmm. and it was introduced to them. And so I really was like pumped, like, I don't even care. Let's just do this, And my business partner, I thought she was on board. But about a month and a half in, she disappeared.
She just up and...
We talked on the phone. I told her how I felt. I was like, and it wasn't even an argument in the beginning. It was like, okay, I'm not seeing you here. Do you still want to do this? Like, And mm-hmm. she just was like, well, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And I was like, okay, well, like, you need to take your name off stuff. And she didn't want to take her name off anything. And so I kind of was stuck because I couldn't go get no loans because she's part of the LLC. She's on all the paperwork. And if I can't get in touch with her, then how am I supposed to go forward and making sure that this business continues to go? So I had no way of going to do anything. So I kind of stuck.
What part of the, like, okay, I know you do nails, you like so awesome with nails. You're the nail nerd.
Thank you.
So I know what you were doing like at the salon, but what was like, since she isn't into nails, and was she like mainly running like the fund?
She was like the financial person.
Advertising, or
she was like the financial person.
The financial person. Okay.
So she did, you know, I thought that's what her role was gonna be.
Okay.
I thought she was gonna be the finance person, and that's really what her role was to be the finance, the money part. And it was pretty much like, there was a couple things I was paid for after that was like non-existent. And so it was kind of like, okay, you know, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Just let's do it professionally and just take your name off everything and just keep moving. And I could have just ran it under my LLC. But once I can't find you and I've reached out to you numerous times and you just disappear, what can I do? You know? And like I said, there's, you know, people do things for different reasons. I still don't understand the reason for her doing what she did. I haven't talked to her since that day on the phone.
So it wasn't like, we're not making money, I'm done. It was just up and just, she ghosted you? Just
pretty much.
Wow.
So
that's pretty hard.
It hurt. So, you know, because I really didn't think this person would ever do something. But I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, people do things for different reasons.
Yeah.
I'm finally at a better place in my life to say I forgive this person. I wish her the best. You know, I'm not gonna trash this woman's name out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they're like I said, I don't know what her reasoning was for it.
Right.
I still don't. I was angry for a long time, all the way up to not too long ago. I was
I believe it. And you angry. A lot of people would say you are a bigger woman than me, including I, because I know I've been dragged all over Facebook. I've made some YouTube videos. They just left me high and dry. And I mean,
but I was like, girl, let me tell you what I was really doing. I was like hurt. I went to Jamaica once.
You had to go get your groove back.
I had to go get my groove back and come back, girl. I didn't know. I was like, look, I can't. So I had already had this trip planned before I even went to even took the spot over. But I went to Jamaica. I came back and I said, I talked to my sister. Actually, my sister lives here in Dallas. She's my older sister. And she's my sister. Like I have two older sisters that are 8-9 years older than me. So I feel like I have 3 moms. And my sister here is the one that was like, she actually came to Omaha. She saw the spot. It was gorgeous. She was like, Martine, just close it. Because I wanted to keep it open. But she said, just close it. Just close it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to close it. And I'm going to be honest with you, like, it hurt. Because, like, I just disappeared. I disappeared from everybody. I mean, people that worked at the spot. I was like, I wasn't even myself. Like, I went through so many emotions. I like blocked everybody. Like I went into hiding because I was embarrassed. I kind of get a little emotional about it now because my thing was I wanted to help the women in that spot.
Oh,
sorry. I'm trying to cry.
Okay. No, seriously, it's okay because like I told you earlier, you know, my god sister Robin, Bobby, and she you know, has been trying to do nails for a while, get her license. And when I heard that you were her mentor, I'm like, oh, shoot. And Martine is the best out there. You in good hands.
But I just like literally like blocked everybody, even her, like everybody. I disappeared because I was so hurt that this happened. And that was not part of my dream. That was like, why did this happen? And I went to a horrible, horrible depression. Horrible depression. Where like it's like I said, it still affects me because it affected not just me. It affected
everybody, employees, the kids, the employees, your life, the family.
I had to start my life over, completely over. And I was like, how am I gonna start over? Like, you know, like being an entrepreneur, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. They see the glam of it on Facebook and social media. And I've been living this on my life. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like my mom started her flower shop and almost had it for almost 20 years on 24th.
And I remember that shop. We stayed right on 25th and Pinckney, so I used to have to walk past that shop every day to go to school.
My first dollar was in that shop. And my mom still has my back to this day,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I mean, she was so proud of that spot too, because she always wanted me to have a spot in school, but that's a whole nother thing. But it really hurt me because it didn't affect me, it affected a lot of people. And I'm never a person who wants to hurt other people. Or, you know, I wanted people to grow in that salon. I wanted to bring trainings to that salon. I wanted that to be like a nail mecca for people in that state, because I just felt like we didn't have a lot of education opportunity.
Not like we used to. All those schools we used to have back in the day, especially in North Omaha.
Right. And now it's not. There's a couple of nail schools there now that I'm like, okay, like it's coming back. But like there's one I would prefer with the other. But there are a couple of nail schools there. But at the end of the day, it's like it taught me so much. Just that whole situation. Like I said, I'm starting all over again. Like I started my life all over again. And now I'm completely thinking outside the box, completely different plan on my business at this point.
Well, how did you manage to? I mean, I can feel the pain coming through the screen.
It hurt, girl. You see, I'm gonna cry.
I'm like, I can feel the pain, and I can just imagine, you know, what you went through, and you know, because I know it wasn't something that you intended to happen.
No.
And but how did you like bounce back? We know you went to Jamaica and got your groove back, but once you got back to reality, like once the reality hit when you got back, did you just like up and?
So this is what happened. When I came back, I closed it. I took what I could get of my own stuff and I left. And I literally, like I said, I went into depression. I laid in the bed for like months, like a couple months. Cause like I had a good job. I had left, you know, it was just like, what am I going to do? My kids, I sent them off to their dad for the summer, which now they're permanently with him now. Because
and I remember that. I remember when the kids got moved. Yeah.
Yeah. So they went out there to visit their dad for the summer. And I was like, Anthony, ooh, I'm gonna need your help. And he's like, I promise you, like a lot of people even know our relationship. We used to hate each other. And now me and my kid's father are like really good friends at this point.
Oh.
And he really stepped up because I had to like call him and tell him like, this is what happened. And he knew my dream because he was there at the beginning. Yeah. So he knew what was up. And he was just like, I got you. And so the kids have been staying with him. But after that, like I said, I went to a depression. I mean, like straight depression where I actually, and I'm being a really open book tonight. So you about to get all of it. I actually was like in the hospital for 4 days at the VA because I was so depressed. Like,
oh my God, was that like right after you got back or a little while later?
In September of last year.
Wow.
A lot of people knew it. No, I just kind of put on Facebook. I was in the hospital, but I was in the hospital. Like when you realize when you really depressed and it snap you out when you're in the hospital and you in the bed and the bed is buckled down to the floor and you can't wear shoestrings and stuff like that. Like I was like, okay, I'm good. Let me go home. But I thank God for my friend Sean because I was calling her and I was just telling her and I was just saying all these like just crazy stuff and I just felt suicidal because I just felt like my life was over. I was like, this is my dream.
Wow. I never imagined. I would have never known.
Nobody knew it. But she was like, okay, like you need to go and get some help. And I got the help that I needed, got back out. And that next day, because like I told you, I lost everything. Yeah. I lost everything. Like I could not, I was working this little big job. I had nothing. Lost everything. And so I called my sister here. This is how I got to Dallas. Okay. I called my sister. I was crying. Like, I don't know. Like, I just wanted to, I was crying because I just felt like I lost my dream. And she was just like, you need a new change up. You need to leave Omaha.
A little change in atmosphere.
Yeah, because I just was like, I don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here. Because I was so like hurt and embarrassed. And I was just like, I walked out every day and I just was like, I'm not happy. Like, what can I do? And so she was like, quit your job and move down here. And I was like, okay.
Oh, big sissy came through.
So I was there in Omaha an additional 3 weeks. I packed my car, whatever I could. I packed my trunk with all of my nail stuff.
You gotta take that, girl.
All my nail stuff. And I left and came down here and really just like, I'm sitting in my apartment now, like, you know, and like happy. Like I had to do that for myself. And I'm not saying, you know, I couldn't have been happy back at home, but I couldn't have been happy right now. At that time, I had to leave. I had to go because I needed to start over. And I had dreams, but now things are trying to change. And so
sometimes it takes you, and sometimes you have to leave your past to make a change. Sometimes you do. So I don't blame you for leaving. I mean, I think it's awesome how your kid's father, even though, you know, sometimes it's a cliche like, oh, they're a good dad. Oh, you know, kudos to the dad. But, you know, that things that some guys do, they're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But still, for one to step up and say, okay, handle to me. I got you. Get yourself together. That's awesome. And then your sister, it's nice to have that comfort.
But that's the time I didn't think I had anybody. I didn't think I had anybody had my back at the time. So for those people, and surprisingly, my kid's father, because I'm telling you, for years we hated each other, you know, and like now we're good friends. Like I can call him and be like, hey, what's going on with the kids? I just FaceTime my kids, and you know, I talk to them and they're doing great. And I think this was perfect for them because
they probably needed to change too, because the thing about it, kids feel all your pain, they feel all your stress.
That's what I didn't want. I said, I cannot bring my kids back into this. This is not healthy for them. So I had to make a huge choice. Like I had to make this choice, like, because I mean, it's not like he's a great dad. Like he's a great dad. Like he wasn't great for me, but he's great for our kids.
And that's how a lot of guys are. They ain't made for us. They made for somebody else, but you can't take the
he's a great man for somebody else.
Right. Over there.
Right over there. I mean, we was married for 10 years. I had him for 10 years. My last name's still Mayo, okay? Guys, he can take the reins now. And when I mean, kids are happy. They're in South Carolina, but he just got a job with Google.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah, I know. I was like, oh yeah. Okay, y'all moving.
Well, that's who you're gonna be working for. That's who you're gonna be working for when you get your YouTube channel. That's who pays our checks. Google.
I'm about to say, he got the connections, honey.
Yes.
Like, Google.
Oh, he might be able to hook us up. Like, can I get a raise now?
That part. But no, they're doing good. They're going to be moving to Atlanta soon. And like I said, things are just, I have a smile on my face. Obviously, you see that. I'm happier now. And I am rebuilding my business.
Well, I'm so glad you are. And we're going to talk about a lot of things that you're doing. Before we get into that, we got about 25 minutes left. Okay. Or we can, if it takes a little longer, but you know, that's the time I have set aside. We ain't on no time limit, child. But give us like, I know you told us like one of the dues, like from all that you experience, and what I commend you on is not throwing her totally under the bus. I mean, you have to let people know this is what happened, because otherwise people will just be like, oh, she failed. She didn't. I mean, you have to let people know.
But I let people know,
but don't drag her. You know,
right? And I'm not gonna drag her.
Right.
I won't drag her because, like I said, you know, first of all, she still got a family. She got kids. She got a husband. You know, she has business. I mean, I don't know if she still has her businesses because she had other businesses.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and take. I personally would never take no food out of somebody's mouth.
Right.
And I'm never gonna sit here and tarnish somebody's image.
Right.
You know, I stand on my own 2 feet, and she stands on her own 2 feet. So she needs to deal with that on her own.
Yeah. And that's why I said I commend you for not dragging her totally under the bus. Yeah. But from the experience that you went through, I know one of the dues you said was make sure you do have a lawyer. And I know you said you had a lawyer. And that's if you're doing the business together.
But so you do it together. Let me just say this though.
Okay.
If you do have a partnership and y'all need to have your own lawyers.
Okay. That's
where I think we failed at. One of the things we failed at. Because I had a lawyer. She didn't have a lawyer. But we just went to a lawyer.
Okay.
And so I think when I finally, because I moved down here and now I got a whole boyfriend now. One of his best friends is a lawyer. So I talked to him about this situation. I actually was looking into a possible partnership. But I was like, ooh, I need to talk to you about some things first before I think about it. And I kind of backed up because I'm still a little nervous about it. But
who wouldn't be after that? I mean,
made it very clear to me though. He was like, this person needs a lawyer and you need a lawyer. And that's when you guys put the agreements together, and y'all got to go back and forth until you guys come to an agreement. So that's one thing that I felt like that's number one.
Right.
And number two is another thing is should have an accountant. Check over the numbers. Make sure that we had everything, and
now, do you recommend having somebody? I know you said she was over like the finances, but do you recommend having one of y'all over the finances, or having somebody totally like not in, like an accountant? Like, you know what I mean?
I think it really depends on how your partnership. It really comes down to what you guys agree on. But I always say have a good accountant, period. Always have a good accountant. Somebody with some years on them, not somebody, because that's another thing. I used a cousin she has an MBA and a bachelor's degree in accounting, but she's family.
Right.
When you need things done and they take time to do stuff.
And you gotta I don't want to chew you out because you don't want to ruin that family. But that's why I don't think you should do everything with family. But
it messed up our relationship. So that's another thing. Like, have other people that are not your friends and family be the people that need to manage, like your accountant. Don't have them be a friend and family.
Right.
And pay them the coins. And then the person, the lawyer. Y'all have your own lawyers. And have everything in writing. And have everything registered. Everything needs to be in writing.
And that way, if somebody did want to leave, if you have something properly in writing ahead of time, like you have something set up where your lawyer say, okay, if you decide you want to be done, then she should be able to buy out your certain, or you know, or you got to give a notice, or something like that.
Right, and that's another thing that should have been done, and none of that was done.
Okay.
None of that was done, and that's like when I really went to my lawyer, and he was just like, "Well, y'all sat here with me." And she was excited about the bit. Like, what happened? And I had to explain to him. Like, he was surprised too. He was like, that's not what I saw here. So like I said, you have to have a lawyer. Both y'all have your lawyers. Have it all in writing. Yeah. Everything in writing. All the financials, you need everything. Tax returns, all that stuff. Everything from the person you possibly buying this business from. And those are my top two things. Like, really, like if I like we going into business again now, I will have a lawyer and I will have an accountant, and they will not be somebody who I know. I will do my due diligence to do my research. And when you can't be friends really a lot in business. I know people say, well, you can be. Yeah, you can be. When it comes to business though, that's another thing I felt like we had an issue with. Yeah. Is because I wanted to do the plan. Let's get the marketing plan. Let's get this optimization. Let's do this, do that.
Right. Like, and you think it because it's with a friend that you know for years.
And that has their own
business. And the fact that even though y'all didn't do business before, y'all kind of did do business because she was your client for 2 years. Right. So you're thinking, okay, this person is dependable, reliable. She works. She's entrepreneur. You just think that it would work.
Table. We also I felt like we had a friendship outside of
the
studio. So it was just like, like I said, like if both of us made mistakes, we both should have did our due diligence on the finances. We both should have did our due diligence and had our having our lawyers do the paperwork. We just wanted that spa, and the lady was kind of rushing us to take over the spa.
And now you see why, because she was crunching them numbers.
That lady, man, what I found out about her in that business after the fact, I will tell you, like all the equipment in there that I thought was mine wasn't mine.
Oh, wow.
None of it. It was all, she put it in the contract that it was mine. She didn't tell us that she had a lease on it, or she was paying, if she had basically a mortgage on all this furniture.
Oh, Lord.
So she was paying on it and didn't tell us. She didn't tell her lawyer either.
She was probably hoping y'all would be there long enough to it would pay off.
And then she was just paying it off. And then she had she was a liar. She was a liar. Now that person, I ain't gonna lie, that lady lied. And I was just like, wow. So I'm thinking I'm about to take some stuff with, no, none of it was mine.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So would you like, if you ever were to open up another salon or a spa, would you rather get one that's just like the one that was already open and running and things already put in place? Or would you like to start from ground up?
I would start from ground up. And that's just me. Because I'm very particular. Mm-hmm. So I know what I won't even work for somebody, another spa as an employee here. Mm-hmm. And I've even thought about that. I was like, oh, I can just go and work in a nail salon and just do, no. Because
you took, girl.
I can't do it. I can't
you
do
as
it.
Boss material. You as boss material.
I'm like, I use this acrylic and this monomer and this. So I just can't do it. And I like things turning a certain way. But I would start from the ground up. But I'm actually a little like, my boyfriend wants me to do another salon or a spa. And part of me is like, I was like, it's guys really gonna have to work on me on that one. But
what about the teaching part?
I'm sorry.
Like, what about the teaching part? Like opening up a school?
Part definitely is a passion of mine. I think, I'm be honest with you, I think kind of started with Robin. When she would come in and I would kind of do a couple little things with her before I even the spa even came up to fruition. But
and she was getting really good. I haven't seen her do anything lately though, but she would show like her pictures online.
Like her acrylic, very artistic with all that. Yep. Like she was really good. So I hope that if she's not doing it right now, I hope that she get back into it. But as far as education is concerned, I can only go so far in this because this is part of my new business.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So like I told you after podcast, and so with COVID, I decided to open a business in the middle of COVID, and I'm like, because I'm just
a lot of people are creative during the COVID.
You gotta be creative right now. And so I have a couple of clients here and there. It's not like I have a steady stream because I'm still new and it's COVID and I'm scared of people. And I actually was in a salon, like I tell you, like God, I know God got something big for me with this because I even was in a salon. What was this, back in August? I was sharing a suite with a lady I met here. One thing I've learned here: a lot of the women here, they're imports just like me. So they're like, whatever you got to do, I got your back. Let's help. Well, she was here. She's actually from Dallas, but she's a hairstylist. She's like, you can, help me out. And I met her through another stylist. Well, I started working in the studio salon with her, and then a month in, there was an eviction notice on the front door of the studio salon.
Oh no.
So I had to move out the next day. She's like, girl, there's an eviction letter, and everybody in the salon had to move out. It was
my God.
I'm like, God, really? This again? Like, we got this.
But did it have something to do with the Rona as far as like business being down?
So they had
I figured,
they basically, the owners of the studio salon got back. Were back. They weren't paying when it happened. And so once that happened, they got behind on their payments. They was like, you guys can stay. We're going to figure it out. I was like, nah, you don't know what happened to me last year. I'm out. So I just went ahead and I'm in my home right now. But I'll be honest with you, I don't want to buy my home. So I
got it. True, that Rona.
Right. No. And so for me, I said, how can I still do what I love and monetize it without having to do people's nails?
Right.
And that's one thing I learned from a manager who I really didn't like when I worked at the railroad 10 years ago. She was my first manager. Couldn't stand her. But she was always, one thing that she said was, you got to have your numbers and you got to think outside the box.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, how can I monetize nails without doing nails? So that's where I'm at right now in my business. So the first part of that crazy scheme of what I'm doing right now is the podcast. And so that's the first part. And I designed my own website because I'm trying to save as much money right now as possible. So I taught myself how to design a website. That's my little.
And it's really nice, by the way. And
Thank
let me give a shout out to the beautiful nail nerd, because when I was putting my little LLC together for the hood table, guess who I called?
And I helped you, and I was helping some other. I was like, let me kind of step back, because I kind of got scared helping people, because I'm like, I'm not a lawyer. I ain't trying to go through this again. But my thing is this, because people charge for stuff like that, and I'm not gonna charge you,
Right.
And I knew that I seen you were consistent. Something that I've learned from you.
Oh shoot, from me.
Yes, I did it on you. To be consistent. But but you have been consistent since day one with the hood table. So that's what I'm gonna be like in that aspect. And I didn't mind helping. You had questions galore. You probably thought you was bothering me. I was like, no.
I know. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to ask her another question.
No, just ask me. I said, because you was about to pay out. I was like, no, do this for free. What was it, like 5 lines on a piece?
I'm about to pay a whole bunch of money.
Girl, no. It was 5 lines on that piece of paper. You submit this to the states, okay? Yeah. You get your LLC.
He showed me how to do my certificate of organization, all that. So I really, truly thank you. And I said the next time you come to town, y'all got desserts on the way.
Yes.
True. That's how when people do things. When people do things for me as a cake decorator, I love to give people treats, cakes, cupcakes.
Oh yes, so, I will let you know when I'm in town. Trust
me. Please do. Please do. I got you.
Yes, but no.
Tell us about this podcast. What kind of stuff you're going to be doing on the podcast?
Okay, so I'm excited about this podcast.
I am too.
I'm super excited about it. So I like talking to people. Obviously, I like to talk. And so I have a lot of connections in the nail industry as well. A lot of them. And one thing that I have noticed over the 15 years that I have been doing nails and going to these shows and going to these, like I told you, I spent a lot of money going to these different trainings. And I didn't see a lot of us on the platform, Black people, women, Black men, whoever on the platform. Now we out there. We are out there doing nails like crazy. And like people know that for a long time until social media really started popping, that Black women and men were out there doing nails, but I just never saw them in the different spaces that these huge,
like at the workshops and things like that.
Big, like Premiere Orlando, huge beauty show in Orlando, and I was going to that, and I would see us there, but we weren't presenting.
Oh, okay.
We weren't on the stage doing nails. We weren't. They were mentors for different huge companies, and some companies, you saw them, but I really didn't see them like I wanted to see them,
like representing.
Really. And on top of that, COVID happened, right?
Yeah.
And so people was like, if you heard in my podcast, I was getting a little offended because people was like, they want their nails done so bad. And all of a sudden now y'all didn't want to talk to a Black nail tech, but now y'all want to sneak over to my house. People all over Dallas. I was like, no, I want to live. I'm not doing your nails. But the people were coming out trying to find a Black nail tech. Plus everything with, the racial injustice going on, how political. We need to stick together. I'm not saying I'm like no the white people, nothing like that. But we need to spend our money and our dollars in our community.
And not only when somebody has been shot unjustly.
Right.
That's when it seems like we all be like, Black power, Black,
No. We need to do that all the time.
All the time.
Because when I come home and I'm still going to put, I try to invest in people back home still. If you're doing a business and I can buy something from you, I'll try as my best. I ain't rich, but I'm going to try to invest some money back into my community back home. But my thing is this, we should always be doing that. North 24th Street should look like South 24th Street back home.
Man.
It should look like that.
I wish it did. I really do.
And that's where right now, my goal is to be able to come back and teach not just nails, but how to build a business online or whatever I need to do to circulate them Black dollars back into our communities. That's a goal of mine. And so the podcast is the catalyst of that. But there's a lot of stuff that I've done in the past that people didn't know that I was teaching myself to build this business I have today.
Oh, okay.
So the travel agency, remember the travel agency?
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
There was a reason why I started that. And you'll see that soon. But there's a reason. Because what I want to do is make money on all ends of my business.
I know that's right.
So I'm going to teach myself how to do my own website, how to do my own logo, and how to market my business, and how to put on my own networking events. And make
girl, they say you should always have 3-4 hustles at least.
And people think they're like, you all over the place. There's a reason.
You know me. I got I'm baking cakes, YouTube, regular job,
merchandise, honey.
Merchandise.
Okay.
Too.
I need you to help me with that too.
I got you.
And that's what we should be doing.
Yep.
That's what we should be doing as Black women, Black people. Period. We should have knowledge and we can help another person out. We should be helping each other out.
Yep. And I had told you, I said all the time, at least once a month, I'm helping somebody set up their social media.
But let me tell what I tell you about
all that kind of stuff.
What I tell you
about but the last few times I have to say, you know what? It's crazy. I'm gonna tell you this. It's honest and true. It's crazy that the last 3 people I helped, they just offered to pay me. Now, the last person gave me, I was at their house probably 2 hours. They gave me $50.
But what I tell you,
the person before that gave me $60, and I didn't even ask. I was
that's what I'm saying. You have knowledge. You have knowledge, and you have you sitting here telling me girl, I'm gonna help you with this and this and that.
But between me and you, that's different. Okay, you help me, I help you.
But girl, you got a whole business. You are building a brand, and that's what you need to be doing. Build that brand, and build it to where you can monetize every part of that business.
And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm really, really trying to do. I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to do multi-branding. Like when you was talking to me about the LLC, and when you was telling me the different classes, there was so much that I learned from you, like how you can have LLC classes if you're doing teaching. If you are actually doing instructor, you can have that LLC. You can have your YouTube channel LLC. Have your merchandise. You can have it
but
all these different brands. These different classes.
That's part of branding. That's where you need to focus on. Is making sure you have that foundation in place.
Yes.
A lot of people want to play business, but you can't play business when you don't have your foundation. That's the structure. Like any house, you have to have your foundation in place. So you need to have whatever, if you want to be a sole proprietor or LLC or S, whatever you want to do, I would say go to an accountant and talk to them about that.
Yeah.
Sure, first and foremost, most people do an LLC. It's easy to do. It takes the liability off of your personal finances and just focuses on that. So that's one area that I tell people all the time. If you don't know and what are you trying to do, talk to an accountant. They can tell you about that, or a lawyer. So have that in place. Have your EIN. Now, with your EIN, you can get that just like that in 2 seconds.
Yep, I got that. Yep, I got my EIN. After I talked to you, I did that. Yep.
Yes, because you need to be able to split your finances apart, right? So you need to get your business account.
Yeah, when I file taxes, the LLC for the hood table taxes is over there.
You don't want to mix the finances.
And I got my own bank accounts. I got the hood table bank account. I got my own personal bank account.
Keep everything
Cash apps, all that.
Keep everything separate. And make sure that you notate everything.
Yeah.
Make sure that you keep a record of everything. When you're you don't ever want to end up, and that's the reason why I'm I have to keep going in business. I have to be an entrepreneur. I have to, this in my blood. I see my mama do it. It's serious to me. I want to see people grow. I want to see people I see nail techs and beauty professionals sitting here working themselves into the ground. You don't have to do that. Yeah. You don't have to do that. You need to charge what you're worth. People used to be like, oh, you too expensive. Well, then you're not my client.
And branch out and brand out. For the longest, when I used to get my nails done, it was I would go in and get my nails done. And of course, they would charge you for that. But they weren't doing anything else in there besides maybe selling some nail polish that they bought from somewhere else. No. But it's all about branding, your own, your t-shirts, your pants, your hats, your caps. It's so much.
And trust me, I'm in the process of beginning my brand. I'm trying to figure out what kind of logo I actually want for the Nail Nerd Biz. Because I have the Nail Nerd, but the Nail Nerd Biz is a completely separate entity of the Nail Nerd brand. So I want it to be completely different So I'm trying to figure out what logo I want. Once I get that logo, I'm gonna have hats, t-shirts.
I know that's right.
And when you see me out, they can be like, "Wow, what is Nell Narbiz?" Let me
Girl, that's what I'm talking about. Like, okay, my merch, like sometimes I don't even check my Teesprings. I do it like every 2 weeks. And when I go on there and see that people are buying things, I get so excited. And the thing about it with Teesprings, they don't tell you who's buying your stuff. So I have no idea. So every time I come on here, I just thank people for supplying. And I be telling people, send me a picture.
Yes. And that's it. Reach out.
Or, you know, of you and our merchandise. Because
yes.
yeah.
Yes. And that's one thing I used to do
But
all the time.
somebody said, somebody.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, somebody said in the chat, are you in Dallas?
Yes, I am in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, because somebody lives in Dallas and they're from here, from Omaha, and they've been on our show several times. You might even know her, but she asked me, was you in Dallas? So, yep, she's in Dallas.
I am. I actually live on the outskirts of Dallas. So I'm in Allen. So I'm in North Dallas.
Okay.
So it just depends on which, like, this is what I have learned since I moved here. Since I'm from Omaha and I've always lived in little small towns, I moved down here. It's too big. Like, one of my good friends, she lived in South Dallas. That's like a 45 minute. That's like going to Lincoln.
To get Dallas, it takes like hours to get through Dallas because every time I go, we drive down to San Antonio. Oh, so we have to go through the whole state of Texas.
Child, when I got down here and I saw that traffic, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. But if she is in I'm
sorry. She said she's in Plano. She's in Plano.
I'm in Allen. That's the next town over.
That's like really close. Oh.
That's the next town over.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's Omaha people, I will make time for Omaha people, honey.
Yep. She said she's in Plano, so Allen, that's what, like 30 minutes?
No.
If that?
No. It's literally like down the street from me.
Oh, really? Wow.
So, I mean, if she knows where the Allen outlets and stuff is at, like I'm the exit down from that. So she knows where that's at. Then I'm like literally like down the street. So
cool.
Yeah. I didn't move into Dallas per se. I'm like about 30 minutes outside of Dallas. But my sister lives the next exit down, and I didn't want to live too far from my sister.
Oh, yeah, because moving to a city where you don't really know a lot of people.
And that's the thing, in COVID, you can't really go out and meet people and get to know people. And
I'm like, give me 50 feet.
That part. I just started working from home because my full-time job, they was trying to have me where, and I drove 30 minutes to work every day to go to work. And I was like, look, y'all, the numbers down here is not good. I need y'all to let me work from home. So I just started working from home like this week.
Well, that's good. I mean, I wish everybody could. I really do. But I know there are jobs out there like Walmart, grocery stores, where you got to go to work. And that's one thing I was going to talk to you about, too, because when I was looking online earlier today, like some people are going back to the nail salons.
Yeah.
But person like me, I'm still kind of fearful. But I did see one salon, and they probably a lot of them, where they have the screens.
Yeah.
You know.
See, for me,
is that enough when you're touching people's hands?
It's not. When the last couple people that I have done the nails, they had their masks. They were very respectful. But I've always been a clean nail tech. That's one thing about me. And people will say that they can never say I've always used a brand new file on them. I've always made sure, like, you can see me pull my implements out of the barber side. Like,
I remember you used to post stuff like that on Facebook. If you go to somebody and they're not using clean nail file, know, I remember. And or you have your own like kits. Everybody has their own kit or something.
Even that, you can't really guarantee that that's clean.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why that's the nail nerd about to come out of me, because you can't guarantee everything's clean. So like, I'm very particular about the way things are cleaned as far as like with my clients. So I know that this stuff is airborne. So even if it's a screen between us, we're still not 6 feet apart.
Yeah, because y'all right there.
We're
While
right
they're
there.
holding your hand. So
Yeah, and so for me, it's a hit or miss because I really love doing nails, and
mm-hmm.
the part of me is like, but like for instance, we went out the other night. My boyfriend, he just had to get out, and I'm like, no, it's COVID. But since you want to get out, let's go out. And I was like this the whole time. Like I did not want to be around people, and he just wanted to get out. And I get it. Like we're humans, we have to have interaction with people. We have to get out. But I was like, like this might not work all the time. So
I
even
get it.
that just was like, I can't do it. Like, and I mean my job, my full-time job, they have plexiglass everywhere. Like I'm literally the plexiglass bubble at my desk. But I still felt like that wasn't enough because I know people at my
And
job.
it's airborne. And one thing I learned is that a lot of people can have it and they still be out there shopping, walking around, going to work because they act like they just can't stay at home.
Right. And I'm like, you are just putting so many people at risk. And that's, I guess, for me, because I had my sister's a breast cancer survivor down here, the one that lives here. I would hate for me to get something and she has a compromised immune system already. And then I do that because I have a friend right now, I call her my work bestie. She just got over COVID about a month ago. She almost died.
Oh, wow.
On top of that, the person that gave her COVID just died yesterday.
What?
Yeah. And so it was her boyfriend's mom. This sounds a lot, but her boyfriend's mom's boyfriend gave them all COVID. He never recovered. He just died. She recovered. They recovered. He didn't. They had to pull him off life support yesterday.
That's horrible.
So for me, this is not a game for me. This is not something I'm playing with. I know a lot of people don't think it's a big deal.
And they don't. And it's sad because I know people personally who have lost parents. Like, remember the two people that we lost like a month ago? That comedian and his mother?
Yes.
Like, his mother got it, and then a few days later, he got it. Then a few days later, she died. And then a few days later, he died. And all within like a week.
And that's what I was telling people down here. I'm like, this stuff ain't no game. Like, so for me with this business, that's why I had to think outside the box. That's why I had to figure out a way to be able to network with nail techs because there's a lot of nail techs who can't work right now. There's a lot of beauty professionals that can't work if they're living in a state that say you can't do this, that, and whatever. There's like people in California are doing nails outside. They're doing nails outside. They can't do nails inside. From the last time I was told, they have to do nails outside because the stuff is airborne. It's airborne. Even our 45, whatever you want to call him, he's even said this stuff is airborne. So for me, it's almost like a no. Like, I'll do some press-ons for you. I got everything to do a press-on set for you. I can send you some glue. I can send you the nails. I can give you instructions. Everything on how to do that.
Well, we're going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do it because I have not got my nails done a long time.
Yeah.
But the press-ons, I mean, I be seeing people like show pictures that they press-ons on Facebook and YouTube, and they look really nice.
But if you kind of go back into my Instagram a couple years ago, I was already doing press-ons. I've been having stuff for press-ons for a long time, and people have been doing press-ons for a long time. A lot of these celebrities out here don't really wear their real nails; they wear these press-ons.
Really? Yeah. Oh, okay.
So that show.
I used to get the acrylic. That's what I used to get way back.
But you have to find somebody who, because I have a couple clients who told me they stopped getting their nails done back home because when they go get their nails done, they hurt. Why are your nails hurting?
That part I don't understand.
And their nails was hurting, so they just went natural, which is fine. But if you're a nail tech, stop hurting people. Like,
I know. You know what I used to hate? What I used to hate when I used to go, like, it's like if I broke a nail and I would go there and I would ask them to soak. Why do a lot of nail techs don't want to soak your nails off? They just want to rip them off with the fingernail clipper or something. Why?
Why? It depends on the nail tech one. Because some of these places that you go get your nails done at are not using, this is where the nail nerd comes in, because I will explain all this stuff. There's two different types of acrylic out there. There's methyl methacrylate and ethyl methacrylate, EMA or MMA. MMA is like dental acrylic. It's like, you're not even supposed to be using it. It basically, that's why they grind your nail down to nothing to put the nail on so it can stick. And it's like it's really strong, kind of a sweet type of when you go get your nails done. And it's so hard to take off. It takes forever to soak off. And acrylic. EMA acrylic, ethyl methacrylate, it doesn't take that long to soak off. So you can soak this off. You can, file it down, soak it off, boom. It just off. Methyl methacrylate it's like trying to take off like a rock.
And see, that's what I remember. But see, a long time ago, like when I was younger, like in my 20s, when I was younger, everybody soaked them off. And it might take like 5-10 minutes. Because they be like soak and they be working on somebody else. But then like within like the last 10-15 years, everybody just wants to rip them off. And they be like, oh, it's just gonna hurt a little bit.
No, that hurt. It hurt. And
then your nails be real thin. It rips the layer. Yeah.
It takes layers of nails off. And the reason why they do that is because they don't want to take the time to soak it off. And on top of that, they know you're gonna come back. Methyl methacrylate is cheaper than ethyl methacrylate. So when people be like, why are they charging so much? A lot of people charge so much. You know why? Because methyl methacrylate is cheap to get. And people they'll say they got EMA acrylic, but they actually have MMA because it's cheap to get. And that's why the prices are so low.
Yeah.
People like us, the nail techs, actually go and do the training like we're supposed to, get the good stuff. We spend the money because even those little things of acrylic is expensive. And we charge what we're worth. And people are like, why are you charging so much? Because I'm using a professional product.
Right.
And I'm using a product that's not going to damage your nail. Because when you come to me, I'm not going to sit here and grind your whole nail off. I'm just going to take the grind off and your nail's going to last. But why? Yeah. But people think that's what you're supposed to do. And then it
hurts. And then after that, they use the little, they grind after they done ripped half your nail.
And then, girl, that's like people don't really like use you're supposed to call it the e-file or the electric file. It's real.
I'll be almost at tears, girl. I'll be like,
that's it. And that's why people are like, I can't even go get my nails done now because with you is an experience. And then when I go here, it's like my nails hurt. Your nails should never hurt when you go get your nails done. You should be able to leave and be able to use your hands right after you leave. Like you should not be having to your nails should not be throbbing. It should not be hurting.
And I've had that before.
And that's the thing. It shouldn't be like that. So that's really where the nail nerd name came from. Is because I would have when people come sit at my table and I had never met you before, I would walk through the process of what I did. And then I would tell them, they'd be like, well, why is this happening? Just like the question that you asked, why is this, why that? Well, and then I would go through the whole thing about gel and the monomers and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm kind of a nail nerd. And then people was like, well, you should, that should be your name. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
And I trademarked it.
And you should have, because honest to God, I ain't gonna lie, but I've seen that name before. Like if you type in certain things, and it'll come up on Facebook or whatever. But you made it your own.
Yes, it's mine. And trust me, those people that's using the nail nerd come 2021.
They gonna be in trouble. But see, that's why I did the hood table, because I ain't seen nothing out there yet with the hood table. But I saw something out there that said the hood or something like that, and I'm like, why ain't nobody ever came up with that name? I don't know, because it's actually a twist of the red table for me.
Right.
Because I love Jada's the red table.
Oh, and
when I created the hood table, I wanted something kind of like that, but a little more hood, because that's where I'm from.
Yes.
And I'm like, there's all these other talk shows and they all bougie, and you gotta censor your words and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, this the hood table,
And you got something going. So what I tell you, I said, get that trademarks. And I'm already in the process of working on a trademark right now for the nail nerds. So I'm trying to make sure that I have the whole thing covered.
Yes.
And the trademark, and like I told you, the trademark, the nail nerd, I did that myself. But this next trademark, I'm actually going through a trademark lawyer. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like certain parts of my business, I will have a professional who has gone to school. Because I was like, I could go to school to be a lawyer. But I was like, Martine, you're doing too much. You can't learn everything. You can't learn everything. Reel it in. I just need to outsource it. So this one, I am outsourcing that one. And by the end of the year, I'll have that all taken care of. And then start working on. Like I'm not playing no games. Last year taught me so much. And I just never want to be in that position again. And I never want anybody else to be in that position again. And so what I'm trying to do is find ways that I can bring back Black dollars to my community, back home, or wherever I'm at, and people how to make money, whether it's doing nails or
and with your podcast, excuse me, I was going to ask you, like, because I know we gonna work together to get your YouTube set up and stuff.
Yes.
But on your podcast, I know you're going to be like getting into the business of nail. You're going to have other people on there who might be nail techs as well. But on your YouTube channel, will you be doing certain things like actually doing a set of nails or showing people the proper techniques of different things like that?
Yes. So I didn't like, I got my little apparatus up tonight. I'm using my little apparatus. I bought a little apparatus so I can start making nail videos.
Okay.
I'm also teaching myself, like I said, trying to figure out how to do an online business where whatever I sell online, I'm using in my videos. So
exactly.
That's income.
And have it all linked together, like your YouTube, how we was talking about. Once you get to YouTube channel, you can just like your Facebook, IG, and everything else is linked to your websites. I have everything. I have on my YouTube. I have all my other stuff linked. The Facebook pages, the IG,
everything.
When it comes to making them coins, having everything linked together is like all these different platforms.
Yeah,
they'll all come back in a circle.
You know what I'm teaching myself right now is drop shipping.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm teaching myself drop shipping, and people are like, okay, here you go again. But you can start drop shipping with no money, like literally no money. And they teach you how to do it. Like you can watch YouTube and figure it out. But that's just like, that's how I am. If I can figure out something, I'm going to figure it out. Like I'm going to teach myself travel. I'm going to teach myself
drop shipping. And YouTube, you can find out how to do almost everything on YouTube.
I used to have a friend back home who would always he was always watching YouTube, and I'm just like, that is so weird to me. Why do you watch YouTube all the time? But now I know, because there's so much information. It's good and bad information.
Yes, it's good, bad. It's I actually got into YouTube because I have several different YouTube channels. I have my Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice, where I do my cake decorating. Then I have Tanya's Primetime TV Media Reviews. That was my first YouTube channel. And I had started that because you know how you have a favorite TV show and you want to watch your favorite people do reviews? I used to do that. I used to come on YouTube and look for a review of a TV show. Yeah, I still do. But what I was saying was that's how I got. Yeah, that's how I got started. But see, I got started doing only really reviews on Tanya's Primetime TV, and it was mainly because I would watch other people doing reviews, and I'm like, that ain't how it really went. Or these people doing these 5-6 minute reviews, and the TV show is like an hour long. Like, you ain't even told us anything that really happened. Like, so I started doing detailed TV show reviews, but then after a couple of years of that, I realized in Omaha, we really don't have any platforms for what goes on in our hood.
Right.
And that's what became the Hood Table. And I'm still doing TV reviews, but I'm also doing hood information, hood stories, people in the hood that we interview.
It's necessary. It's absolutely necessary. And I feel like what you're doing is very necessary, because I hate when people be like, oh, there's Black people in Nebraska.
Oh God! People on here
from the ground.
People on YouTube be asking me that. They be like, "You from where?" Omaha.
I love telling people I'm from Nebraska. I love it, because first of all, they look at me like a deer in headlights,
like you lying.
And then they be like, "Really?" And then I have my whole little spiel on, Gabrielle Union's from Omaha, Nebraska. I go to my whole little spiel.
There's so many famous people from Omaha.
Like a media mogul is from a Black woman. Media mogul is from Omaha, Nebraska. People don't know that, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you leave Omaha,
Malcolm X.
Everybody. But that's
many people from Omaha, Nebraska. So why people be like, still in 2020, it's Black people in Omaha, Nebraska?
I be like, really?
Or some people don't even know, they ain't never heard Omaha. Like, how you get through high school
and never heard Omaha?
Nebraska
You know what though?
cornhuskers. I mean, Omaha steak, Omaha beef,
Everything.
Omaha, the
You from
Henry Doorly
Omaha?
Zoo, the
Wild
zoo.
Kingdom.
We got the Omaha Wild Kingdom. We got the best zoo, the best zoo.
And I be trying to tell my boyfriend because, of course, you know, he ain't never met nobody from Nebraska. So, you know, and then I pop up, you know, all this wonderful womanness. And I had to let him know we out here. He come to Omaha. And he's like, wow, it's not what I thought.
It's like a little Atlanta. It's like a little Atlanta.
It's like, okay, I know you from Dallas, but we're a city. I didn't grow up in cornfield, although there's a cornfield around the corner, but I didn't grow up in a cornfield. So, but that's about it. Like, that's what we should be doing. I think we leave Omaha. And of course, when I first left Omaha, I was like, I ain't never looking back. And I probably would never move back. I tell you right now, I never move back. I don't mind not saying that. But do I support my city? Do I support where I'm from? Do I support people that trying to do business? Yes. And that's the thing. Like, we need to be up there doing our own businesses, setting them up and helping each other and not
exactly
being little cliques and groups. Like, really genuinely help people and don't. And I kind of got I feel a little way about this because I feel like you only gonna like me when I'm hot. Don't like me when I'm hot. Like me when I need you to help support my business. How I need you to build that business. Because I even think about sometimes with the spot. I'm like, if I would have had enough support, would we have closed?
Probably not.
I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm able to help other people put that foundation together, get it together and run with it. And don't just do it because somebody else is doing it. If you're an entrepreneur, you gotta be in this and you gotta be in it consistently. You gotta really love what you are doing. And that's what I tell a lot of people. They be like, oh, I see somebody do this one. I think I can do that. You have to really love it. And that's why I tell people, because people are like, oh, there's so many people doing nails. There's so many people doing it. I don't care. I don't care how many people are doing whatever. There's going to be tons of people making cakes. And
thank you. I was just about to say that. You know how many other people out here make cakes?
Doing all types of stuff. You know
what I'm saying? People be tagging me on Facebook all the time. They be like, who can make this cake? Who you know can make this cake? They be like, Tanya.
Right. And that's the thing. That's what we need to consistently be doing is supporting and acting and doing whatever is necessary to help us build our businesses and come correct. Because at the end of the day, these Amazons, these whatever they built, Amazon was in a garage. And now it's multi-billion-dollar.
Yeah, it was what, 2 guys in a garage or something?
I think it was just one. Bezos.
Just one guy? Okay.
Bezos, whatever. Bezos is making money right now.
I think I'm thinking about Windows. I think I'm thinking about the internet.
You said what?
I think I was thinking about Windows.
It could have been because I think they started in the garage too.
Yep.
But the thing is you have to be consistency and you have to keep pushing. And that's where I think I lacked that in the times. I was not consistent. I wasn't consistent. And that's something that you have to continue to push. And right now, like even with the whole nail, like with everything that happened last year, I could have said no. Like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I'm over it. But I picked myself back up and I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to let somebody tell me. I've had 2 people tell me, just stop doing nails. They're not my friends anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have people in your corner that's going
to really support you. Like, really.
Support you. And people need to gather around you. Regardless of who you connected to or whatever, you got to continue to just push past all that.
You have to. And well, you know what? When it comes to YouTube, like you're going to get a YouTube channel too.
Right.
But what you're going to learn is you're going to have people all the way from China support you before somebody right next door to you will. And I don't get upset about it anymore. I used to when I first started my YouTube channel years ago. I'm like, dang, why do I have all these strangers? People don't know me subscribe to my channel, and I have over like 1,500 people on my Facebook, and only like 200 of them maybe subscribe. And you have to realize not everybody watches YouTube. It might not because they don't support you, because you know how many people get cakes from me, but they might not all support my cake channel on YouTube. So a lot of people just don't They be like, YouTube, what's on YouTube? A lot of people still don't even realize how many shows, how many talented people have a YouTube channel where they talk and they have conversations and dialogue. A lot of
Right.
people think YouTube is still just to go in there to find out how to fix a tire, how to fix your stove, how to fix a leak, like home and,
There's so much on YouTube.
decorating and stuff. And it's so much. I watch YouTube way more. It's like YouTube, Netflix, then TV.
Right. And I'm
Like, seriously.
like getting into the whole YouTube thing this year. Like,
Uh-huh.
because like I didn't realize like how much is on there. And then like I said, I saw something pop up for you. Your show, like it alerted my phone. So if people subscribe to your show and they subscribe to your YouTube and say, hey, I'm subscribed, they know that your show is coming on. And I was just like, wow.
I love it. I love it.
Amazing.
I'm telling you, you is gonna love it. It's one thing now. I don't hate on the podcast because there's a lot of people who have podcasts, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you probably gonna enjoy the YouTube more than the podcast because the interaction, the people actually watching you and seeing you, and then you can have them come up on the screen. You can invite up to 9 more people on the screen, and you can just have these conversations. But the podcasts are cool too because, and even on YouTube, there's a way where we can do YouTube videos and we can just have our little icon, like the hood table icon up there, and we could be doing a show right now without us even showing our faces. So it's still kind of like. You can use a podcast on YouTube too, but
that's where I want to get to. I want to get to a place where I'm doing interviews just like you are, and being able to bring people who I've looked up to for many years in the nail industry. I just never felt like they got their roses,
Like and you're in a whole nother area now, so Texas, Omaha.
Right.
You can reach a lot of people.
And that's the thing. And that's like the podcast, the Nail Nerd Biz. Like the Nail Nerd Biz has actually been around for a couple years. I just never really, it was an idea. It was like, and I put an Instagram page together. I just never really cultivated it. But now I am. And that's why I said, I'm basically right now am putting the foundation for my business back together. And the podcast is going to be the catalyst. The YouTube channel is going to be the catalyst to everything else that I taught myself and I wanted to do. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a little scared to do because I'm like, well, nobody's going to.
Once you get into it, it is so much fun. And I'm like you. I love to talk. I love to interact. That's why I started doing TV show reviews because I like to talk about. It's one thing to talk to your homegirl. Girl, did you watch Black Ink last night? But to talk to a whole bunch of people and they all giving you all this feedback, and it's like,
and
wow.
I've even been on Facebook groups that like the P Valley group. I joined the P Valley group.
Yes, that's one of my favorites. P Valley group.
Oh my God, that group.
I love P Valley,
but I didn't even know about P Valley, and I was like, okay.
Yes.
Watch the show.
I've been doing reviews on that show since it first came out. Yes.
I can't.
That's one of my new favorite shows.
Yes, but that group on Facebook, even just like it just got you like the interaction, and that's why I was like, I can do this. Like I think I gave up on myself a lot of the time because I just was like, I think because of the stuff from when I was at home, and I just kind of thought that okay, this is it. Like nobody believes in me. Nobody cares about me.
Oh no, you have a lot to give, a lot to teach. People can learn a lot. I learned a lot from you. And the thing about it is, you're one of those people who you break it down, you explain things like you said, and they call you the nail nerd. Why? Because you know everything there is to know about what you're doing. If somebody asks you a direct question, you're going to make sure they understand it, and that's what you did for me because I was totally lost. And I talked to like 3-4 other people, and you was the one to really like break it down for me. Like, no, don't do this, do that. Get you a lawyer, talk to this person. You even told me which people to follow on IG. I mean, so yeah, people can learn a lot for you. And I'm really excited about your podcast. Like I said, I listened to the first one, and I will drop the link in the chat to your first podcast so other people can listen to it.
Subscribe to it.
Yes, and I'm gonna put your IG in there, your Facebook. We always do that on interviews. We put all that information after the show in the description box so people can go, they can reach you.
Yeah, And I, like I said, I'm here willing to help anybody. Like I said, I like you were the person. Like it kind of like catapulted. Like after that, I had to stop. Like I had to like stop. Like I'm like I cannot help because I was like I'm not a lawyer. Like I can help you, but I mean I know you, and I mean you actually like you were really nice. You were my Facebook friend first, and I remember when I was moving, I needed some. I had never talked.
Yeah, and I had gave you a whole bunch of boxes.
And you gave me a whole bunch of boxes. And I was like, this is a real one. I like her. So, and you was like right around the corner from my mama. I was like, this is gonna work. I like her. And
that's one thing about me. I always, at least as far as back as I can remember, since I've been born, literally. But people tell you, Tanya is Tanya. She's the same person today. I mean, I might have matured and I'm more knowledgeable, but as far as being friendly, being open, you know, loving people and being down to earth and real, I've always, it ain't gonna change.
And I really appreciate that. And I just hope that people see all of that about you and all about that. Like, just all I ask is people, like, just help people. Just help people.
Especially as sisters. We sisters. We gotta help.
We have to help each other. And that's the thing. I'm like, you know, you asked me a question about LLC. You do not need to pay $200 to go put this together. Let me give you my little outline, fill your information in, and do what you need to do with the state. And that's what you just have to do. And you have a business now. You have a full-fledged legal business. Get your EIN number. Do what you need to do. Set the foundation. And if I can help you or if anybody else, just take that knowledge that I gave you and pass to the next person.
Thank you. And that's what I do.
That's all I ask, because I never want somebody to go through what I went through last year. I never. I mean, I still get emotional about it.
I know. I can tell. But it's understandable. Excuse me. It's understandable. And even I had one time somebody had wanted to go into business with me over they're a cook and I'm a baker. And they wanted to go into business with me. And I don't know that much about it. And they were so gung-ho. But once it got to the point where I seemed like I was going to be like working for them instead of with them, that's what it felt like. That's how they was coming across. Nothing I said mattered. My opinions, my thoughts, they was just like, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And this is this and that. And I was like, no, that's not a partnership. I feel like I'm going to be working for somebody and not working with somebody, and that's what I don't want. Oh, I think it kicked you out. Did it freeze up? If you can hear me, I'm gonna kick you out and just come back in, okay? Okay, I kicked her out so she can come back in. Thank you, 2216 Production. Thank you. And yes, she is like 10 minutes from you, Martine. She is such a beautiful person from Omaha, Nebraska, but now she lives in Texas. So yes, I'm gonna put all her information in the description box, her YouTube, her podcast information, her IG,
okay, I'm back.
Yep, it's okay. Sometimes it does that with the cell phone.
My cousin was calling me, and I'm like, "Girl, no."
Yep. And I usually tell people that as guests when they're on their cell phones. I forgot to tell you that. Sometimes if you answer those texts or phone calls, it'll kick you right out.
I was like, decline, and she kept calling back. I'm like, decline. I love you. I'm gonna call you back, girl.
It's okay. It's okay.
I forgot what I was saying.
I think you were saying you were talking about helping
pass that information on to other people.
Yeah. Pass it.
Just basically pass the information on, and just like I said, I never want anybody to go through what I went through last year, and it's basically I felt like that was necessary. It was needed, even though it hurt. It was necessary for me to get to where I'm at right now, and it just gave me a thicker skin. So if I can help you prevent going through that, you do not want to lose everything and start all over again. It's not fun. And so if I can help you.
I certainly didn't get into that business little ship because I'm like,
oh no, ma'am.
It didn't feel right at all, but I wanted it so bad I could taste it. I mean, the location,
but if you feel it in your stomach, there's a reason why you feel that tug. And I felt that tug when I went into business. I felt it, but I wanted it so bad
Yeah.
that I ignored it. God gives
And
that
that's how it was for me. I wanted it so bad, but I slept on it. I slept on it. I
no,
prayed. I said
yeah.
it's not my time, and so that's when I sat back, like with the Rona stuff, not wanting to be around people a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of put that on hold. I said I'm just going to work on my YouTube channel, work on my merchandise,
And that's where you need to
my
focus on.
business, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've been doing now. Next year, if the Rona, gives way, I'll go back into looking for locations because, like you said, your podcast is my YouTube channel is
Mm-hmm.
my catalyst.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I was going to use this to once this grow and the income is where I want it to be.
Right.
Then I could put that into.
But you're creating a network. And
Exactly.
that's so important. And you can't, people get mad when their friends or their family don't follow them or don't, because even back home, I'm from Omaha, but I had friends and family that I had known all my life that didn't support my business.
Mm-hmm.
I get mad at them. People can spend their money wherever they want to spend their money.
Exactly. You know how many people shop at Walmart still for their cakes?
Right.
And then they know I'm like this really good cake decorator. They'll even tell their friends about me. But when it's time for them to order cakes for their kids or whatever, they will call a store or something. And I don't get mad. I just be like,
but
you have a right to go where you want to go.
And that's one thing. Another lesson that I learned early start nails is that people be like, I'm like, oh, they trying to steal my clients. Nobody's your client until they sit in your chair and they spend money to you.
Thank you.
And once they leave, they have the choice to go anywhere else. So what you need to do is cultivate that relationship and make sure that the experience is something that they'll never experience anywhere else, so that they want to take those dollars that they have in their pocket and bring it back to you. So that's
how I am with my cake business too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what you have to make it where it's your experience. You have to think outside the box. When you do a launch, it has to be something that nobody else has seen before. And but you be consistent in pushing it. You have to believe in your product. And even for me, like I said, I have to believe in this business that I'm starting. Even though people don't understand what I'm doing right now, it's not for them to understand right now until I launch it. And then but that's why you have to have your website. That's why you have to have your social media. That's why you have to have everything in place. And there's no reason you should fail. You should not.
And that's one thing, the website, like some people, I'll be talking to people because I talk to people like you and other people who give me really good information. So when people come to me and they say, well, I want to do this as my business, I'll be like, well, do you got your website? Do you know who's going to do your website? And they be like, website, I ain't got time for that. I'm like, you do not realize how important a website is, not to only make you look like a legit, like you a serious business person, but it's like where people are like, okay, Facebook and IG is one thing.
Right.
But when it's like serious and you want people to take you seriously, you gotta have a website.
You gotta have a website. And you gotta have another thing that people don't realize that is such a small investment each month is a business email.
Yes. Yeah.
So for like I buy domains. Like if I think of a domain real quick in my head, I'm like, oh, that's a good domain. I might use that. I'm gonna buy it. So
well, I own the Hood Table. I own that one.
Right. I've got about 3 or 4 domains. I know somebody got like hundreds of them. When they think of it, they buy it up. Like I'm just like I buy.
Yeah, if you think of something, if you think of a catchy name, buy it. Get it. Because with the Hood Table, I got the website, the LLC, I got the domain.
Right.
So
and the email is like $5 a month. So if you get Outlook, like if you have an Outlook email tied to your domain, it just looks even more polished. And so there's certain people who got them big dollars that actually look for those type of things. They don't want to see it. They want to see. So now I have Martine at thenailnerddfw.com.
Yep, and I saw that on your podcast. I saw that. Yep.
So I'm just trying, like, I don't have everything in place. Like I want my Twitter. I want, like you said, the YouTube. I'm like, where is my link for YouTube? I don't even know how to link this together. So that's where I need your help at. But those different things, like you have to, like people are gonna look. There are people out here who have money to spend that are looking for those little small things. Spend money with you, and you have to have your brand colors, like brand fonts, everything has to be consistent. Consistent, and you have to be consistent about every aspect of your business. And like I mean, because like if I'm working on my business, I'll work on my business on my lunch break.
Yeah.
I'll take my laptop. I'll be at work, go to work, and then work on linking something or doing another class or something.
Same here, sure. On my lunch break, girl. Sometimes I be up so late. Just so late, making changes on my website,
Right,
making
that's
changes
me.
on my merchandise. I mean, we selling throw pillows and all kind of stuff now. I've been
Yes.
making all kind of changes
And I'm
on
so
there.
proud of you. Like I told you that
Thank
before.
you.
I told you I'm so proud of you. Like I'm learning stuff from you because I'm like merch. She got merch. Like not
Yeah, we
merchandise.
got
You got
merch,
merch.
girl,
You
merch.
got merch. And I
And
want some
I
merch.
love
I
seeing
need to
people
get some
walking
merch.
around. I love the idea of people walking around with, like, we sell stretch pants for the leggings for the girls with the logos on the side of the thigh.
Let
We
me
see
give me
all that.
some. Let me give
And
me
you
some.
got nice legs. You got nice legs.
Girl,
So
I ain't got no
yes,
fixes. I moved
yes,
down to Dallas, child.
girl, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I'm like, oh, let me go ahead and put these stretch bands on.
But yeah,
Yes.
but
I
you gotta have
definitely
the
will
hands.
purchase some merch. Cause
Hustle.
I'm real, like I said, I'm super happy and super proud of you. And that's what we need to be
Thank
doing
you.
is really encouraging and really being there for our sisters, especially in Omaha, Nebraska. There are so many businesses popping up there. And I'm
Yes.
just saying, like, don't treat it like a side hustle, even though a side hustle
Mhm.
can go into a full-time business. When you
Thank
put that consistency into it, and think outside the box and put your foundations together and push what you've been doing. What you are doing right now is setting a precedent for other people in that city who might want to do it. And I told you that knowledge you have is very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Very,
Mm-hmm.
very valuable. And I
Yep.
feel like the next thing you need to be doing is teaching some classes on how to start people's
And
YouTube
that's what
channels.
I'm telling you, that's what I started doing because I do know that there are people who do that. Like the last person I worked with was a pastor, and
Mm-hmm.
I helped him set up his IG, his Twitter, his Facebook. I help like on YouTube, you gotta have your pictures, your banners, certain sizes, certain lengths, certain. I did all that, set up his YouTube channel, linked all this stuff together.
Look at you.
And he was like, how much money you need? I'm like,
See?
how much you think it was worth?
God just put
I
it
mean,
right there, another business
I mean,
in your lap. The
and
money
like the
in your pocket.
last three people I helped, they all gave me some decent money
I'm gonna
for
need
doing it. And I'm like, what? I can
on
get
that.
paid to do this?
Yes, I told you that. Didn't I tell you that on the
Yeah, you
phone?
did, but I'm thinking I'm not really doing anything. But when you look at it, it does take a lot of time if you have no idea what you're doing with YouTube or social media or the merchandise. It does take a lot of time.
Building
And
a
just like the LLC, I did not know what I was doing. And when I reached out to you, I mean, I was like, it was like just a wave, a relief.
yes.
I'm like, oh my God, I feel okay now. I feel okay.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it didn't cost you an arm and a leg to do it. But
Yep.
that type of stuff like that, you have this knowledge now. So what you need to do is package, but there's somebody that says this, package your genius. Package your
Mm.
genius and put it together. I don't know who that is. I follow so many people, but somebody says package your genius and capitalize on it. And there's nothing
I
wrong with
like that.
it, but your knowledge is very valuable. So, like for me, if I'm going to teach somebody how to do nails, I can mentor people. I can do that here and there, a little
Mm-hmm.
one every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I have 15 years of knowledge, and I have been featured in magazines. And if you go on YouTube, there is a show where I was on a reality show. I have some.
What?
Yes, Global Beauty Masters. We lost in the first
Oh, you gotta
round.
send me the link. You gotta send me the link.
Yeah, I was on a reality show. People don't know that. But
Oh
there's
my
things,
God.
yeah, but there's things out there. Like if you have this knowledge and you know you're an expert in your field, which you are now to me, you're an expert in
Mm-hmm.
YouTube and putting together a brand on a media platform, on multimedia platforms, different platforms. So if you can teach me that, why
Mm-hmm.
can't I pay you to do that? People are paying thousands of dollars to people to learn
But
how to.
I was also thinking about doing a cake decorating
Yes, you have
classes.
that knowledge. Package your genius and put it together. There are people that need to that need to invest in themselves because people want everything for free. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like this: if you want a real business, you'll invest in yourself, and that's what I've done.
Yeah, because it's funny. You wouldn't believe it, but I, as a custom cake decorator, I didn't have people like when I post all my pictures on my Tanya's Delights Facebook
Right.
page. there are people who will be like, could you send me a recipe? Could you tell me how you made that? Could you tell me how you, I'm like, I'm not about to tell you my recipe, like my frosty. Everybody loves the heck out of my frosty. How do you
no,
make
that frosty was good though when I had that cake, okay? But that's your recipe. That is not like Kentucky Fried Chicken. They do not sell their secret recipe. That is their recipe. And that's how they make their millions and millions upon millions of dollars. Why do people think because we got this, like we supposed to just give it away for free?
Right.
No,
right.
This is our knowledge. We spent thousands and thousands of dollars. We should be able to.
And I know I done spent so much money on cake decorating. I got closets, boxes, totes, full of all kind of cake decorations, cutouts.
Something about my nail stuff, cause my boyfriend ain't got mad. He's a clean freak. He didn't took the whole closet over here, and he said, "I came in one day, he saw all your nail stuff is in there." And he didn't put everything in there. I was like, my nail stuff is in there, and I'm glad he put it in there because it was all over my dining room table.
Girl, I got stuff everywhere from the upstairs to the basement. I mean, you know the wedding cakes, like the huge wedding cake bottom pans. I got stuff everywhere. The upstairs closet, the kitchen counters.
That means you're passionate about your business and you're passionate about what you love to do, and that's why I said, no, you don't give your knowledge away for free. It's okay to help. It's okay to give little freebies here and there. There's nothing wrong with that. People give freebies away all the time.
Yeah.
But also, if you want me to help you monetize this to another level, I'm gonna need some coins.
And that's why I said I think I'm gonna start a custom cake decorating class.
And there's
like cake decorating 101.
And you do it virtually.
Right. And I already do it. Like a lot of people are subscribed to my Tanya's Delight Slice by Slice YouTube channel. That's where I actually do live cake decorating on that channel.
It's time to monetize that on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like I said, I love coaching people into that stuff. Like I love helping people. You see, I get excited about business. I get excited. I'm like, no. Do not give it away for free. No, you need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do that. That's where I'm at. And that's where like people, if they want to ask me about it, I'm like, okay, I'll help you here. But I need to see you take it to the next step. Once I see you take it to that next step and you actually follow through, I'm like, all right, I got you.
Yeah, because when you was helping me, shoot, by the next, what was it, a day later? You said you need to find a logo. I said, I already found a logo.
It was on it. I was like, okay. And you was like, so how do I do this? What do I need to do this? I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's
girl, a few days later, I had my papers in the mail from the state of Nebraska.
I was sitting back like, she is not playing. She is not playing. Like she is doing this. You had a logo. I think you had got the logo. You had did it all in like almost a week. You was not playing. Yep. And I just helped you here and there. Like, okay, this is where you go to get your EIN number. This is what you do. But on top of that, you did that yourself.
I did my EIN the next day. When that paper came in the mail with the stamp seal from the state of Nebraska, I was like, oh my God, I got an LLC.
That's a sense of accomplishment. And that's what you guys got to keep doing. Just keep doing it. Once you get those trademarks in place, you get your trademarks, you get everything. Yep. Nobody can tell you nothing. Because that's when because I've actually had to tell somebody, oh, you can't name the nail in our business. Well, I've been using this since 2000. Well, I trademarked it.
And see, that's what I was telling you. I had seen the nail nerd on the internet before, and it wasn't yours. But then when you trademark yours, that does make you legit. But if you take your business serious, that's why I keep telling people: if you take your business serious, you have to make it legit. Otherwise, like I couldn't imagine somebody taking the hood table after I've been using it for several years on my.
You know what? But what was her name? What was that show with the?
You're talking about the Queens.
Yeah, the Queens. Was it the Queens Court?
The Queens Court.
Yes. Now that whole thing, that was a mess.
With T.S. Madison and Kaya.
T.S. Madison, but T.S. Madison was smart.
But the thing about it, I watched them from the beginning. I watched Kaya like way before she even hooked up with T.S. And I watched it for the beginning. A lot of people was on TS side, a lot of people was on Kaya side, but I watched it, all the way through. And I remember when TS was saying, we need to make this official, we need to make this legit. And she did go ahead and she did get the LLC. She paid for it, but it wasn't like she didn't tell Kaya what she wanted to do. But Kaya, I guess, was sleeping on it. TS was thinking bigger.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, what they had going on was like nothing we've ever seen before on YouTube.
Well, whose name do you remember now?
I remember TS the most. the most, only because
it's not a dig.
Right. And she switched it over.
Yeah, and it's now when you think of the Queen's Court, well, I think of it, I think of T.S. Madison. I follow her Instagram.
Yep, I follow her.
Yeah, so for me, I'll tell you I think I told you this, why I even trademarked the nail nerd. Because this was another little stint where I had went through some mess. It wasn't bad as last year. I went through a turbulent time of my life, and I had restarted. I tried to move to Tampa, Florida, and it came back. It was like, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So I came back, and I was laying in my bed. It was January 2017, and God told me, clear as day, trademark your name. It was the last money I had in my bank account, and I trademarked that name. Like I submitted the stuff to start the trademark process and have my trademark on that year, because it's not a quick process. But
right. It's not.
Yeah, but I took that last little bit of money. Now,
and it's worth it.
It's definitely
worth it. And my little story, before you go on my little story, I basically, as a YouTuber, I seen another YouTuber who was beefing with another YouTuber take their YouTube name, and started selling merchandise with that other YouTuber's YouTube name. They did it purposely to spite them.
That's crazy.
And it got crazy, and there were all these other people buying all those products, T-shirts and mugs, and it hit me. And then thinking back to TS and that big huge beef, how they didn't have everything just down on paper.
Right.
That's when I hit you up. I said, it was like something just clicked. I'm like, I need to get the Hood Table LLC.
You have to treat it like it's not just a side hustle. It is your brand. It is your business. Okay. I think that's somebody said TS finessed her. Yes, she did.
Yeah, that's 2216.
That she really, I don't want to be mean, but at the end of the day, that's who I follow.
And I listen to Kaya every now and then, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
But I love T.S. Madison, and I feel like when I don't like the way she did it. It probably wasn't the right thing.
And I don't totally think that she was totally wrong.
I don't
totally think she was totally wrong, because I really don't believe that she just went behind Kaya's back and just had it put in the LLC, because just the way Maddie is such a businesswoman and how they work together, like Maddie begged her and begged her and begged her for weeks and weeks to come back to do it right. She just basically got it rolling.
And that's how
Kaya could have signed those papers. Kaya could have became like how you told me, if you got other people on your LLC, she could have done that, but Kaya didn't want to share. That's what I believe. Kaya didn't want to share that with nobody else legally.
That's what I'm saying. When you hold back like that, I feel like you can't always just hold, like, that whole Bible lesson and like the talents, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you can't just always just hold. You have to be able to give back.
Yes.
And if it's a small amount, and if you start this business with somebody and you guys are doing this together
and it's working,
now you just want to use her as just some help. No,
right.
Built this
because basically that's what it was. Like even I have a co-host, Carmel Diva. She ain't on here all the time. People can tell you that. She comes on when she comes on.
Right.
But even on those particular shows, every month when we get paid on YouTube, I go back and I look at that particular show, that particular last month. I see how much YouTube paid us for that particular show that we're on together, and I take it and I split it with her. If she was on here now and people was super chatting us or cash apping us, I tell her exactly how much it was. Well, she can see it. She can see it on the screen. And yeah, because she's my co-host. The girl told.
Girl,
Did not tell you.
I need you to package
I
that.
said we work for Google.
Genius. I don't know what you playing with. Package
I
that.
told you. Yes,
you
did
I
that.
don't even know what you just said. You said super
Super
chat. Girl, we know what that
Trust me,
is.
I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm gonna tell you.
Yes. Girl, get excited.
You get paid for commercials. Like all those YouTube videos you watch with a commercial, they have commercials. Every time a commercial play on you get paid for the commercials. Like when you're live, people can super chat you, cash app you, PayPal you, all that kind of stuff.
What?
Yes. And then if you got the merchandise too, if you got the merchandise.
Tanya, you making me mad.
I told you to call me so I can help you with
your you need to put a course together. I will help you do that. You need to package that together. That is amazing. People
it's a lot.
In here, they can build a whole business right now doing that.
You can have a whole business with YouTube alone. You can have a whole business. But that's only if you're serious. A lot of people get on YouTube and they just get on here to play around. No. I, like a lot of people, take YouTube serious. Like, it's not like my main source of income. I have my main job with the 401k and the benefits, but it's an additional stream of income. So, yeah, you get paid, child, from YouTube. Once you meet your because you got to get so many subscribers, you got to get so many watch hours first, and then once that goes through, they send you an email saying you are now able to monetize your videos, and then you go.
Okay, you need a course. You need a course. You just gave so much information right now. You need a course. I would pay for that.
Yeah, some people, like I said, that there's some people who do that. Some people literally don't know how to set up a YouTube channel.
And YouTube link.
I will show you all that. I'll show you all that.
Okay, we're talking after this. When we cutting this whole camera off, we are scheduling some time this week.
That's cool. I told you tomorrow. I can do tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. I can do Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Whenever, girl.
Okay.
Whenever. I would prefer a weekend.
And if you live here, I would go right up your house, because that's what I do when I go to people's houses and I sit there in front of their desk or their computer, and I'll be on there for a couple hours and I set all their stuff up.
By the end of 2021, you will have a full-fledged course. I'm speaking it. There's no way you need to receive it. There is no way to have all that knowledge. And
yeah. Oh, 2216. She said yep, I sure did. I did help you with your YouTube channel. But you don't know your link either? Okay, hold on now. 2216, you don't know your link? Hold on, let me see if I can find it on here. Yeah, because to get your link, I can show you. Excited. to get your link is easy, but some people just don't. Sometimes it's like anything else. Like if I was trying to do nails, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I don't even know the link, but that's why you need to, like I say it again, and I'm just gonna wait and watch you do it. You need to package that.
In 2216, you had a different channel name. You must have changed your YouTube channel name, because that wasn't the name of your channel before that we worked on. Because her channel used to be under her name. This is the one from Omaha that lives by you now.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to link up.
Yeah, it was Aish. It was under your name.
Oh my goodness, there's so much. You have so much knowledge.
Yes, honey.
You have so much knowledge. I need you to like.
Sometimes, when you be a single parent for so long, one thing when I realized I needed additional income to help me with my kids who were both in sports, it was like a lot of financial responsibility. And that's when I started doing different things. Like, what can I do that I really think I could like? And I really like doing TV show reviews. And I was like, oh, I can get me a YouTube channel and do that. I
You're
like
really good at it.
I like cake decorating. I learned how to do that on my own just from watching videos and reading books and watching, TV shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, you're really good. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm over here. I get so excited about it. That's how I know I love it so much and I'm passionate about it. Because I'm like looking at you. I'm like, oh my God, you are like, you have so much knowledge. Let me help you. Let me help you. Because there's no way that you should not, it should not be like overflowing at this point. You just even in this, like, what, 2 hours? People only here for 2 hours, girl.
But you done dropped some knowledge too. 2216 said in the chat, she said you dropping jewels.
I try to pass on what I know and what I've been through and what I don't want nobody else to go through. Okay. Right. And I'm just saying, but if you have the knowledge, I mean, there's a person, I'll just really quickly, because I know we've been on here for a while. There's a lady that I've been following. I actually used to stalk her, not in a bad way, but like stalk her because she was a genius at what she's done. And I've actually worked with her personally, but her business has grown. Like, she has a 7-figure business.
Oh, shoot.
She is charging for her knowledge.
I need to stalk her.
Her name is Audria Richmond.
Okay,
her
Audria.
It's called Uncloned Marketing, and it's like a little goat. It's really like it. She has books, so she's an author. Audria Richmond. She's done
stuff
on
Instagram.
Yes, Audria Richmond, and her business is called Uncloned. But she is a beast. When I tell you a beast, you can start in her business. I think it's like $80-$90 a month. You can go into this like group, and she shares all her knowledge and does group calls. But she's charging upwards to $5,000 to $10,000 to share her knowledge on how to build your business.
I see it. I got her.
She's a beast.
She has a book called Uncloned. Can y'all see that?
Yes, that's her newest book. She has like 3 books. That right there. You see what? But right there though, what she's showing on that reel, she showed us how she even did that. She just had a thing where she did a 2021 planning session. And she charged the initial charge. She like started real low, but to get into that was like $100. And she basically helps you to plan your whole 2021 marketing. She is like, just if you listen to the book, because she has an audio book to that Unclone.
Okay.
She's dropping jewels. Like,
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Pros of jewels. She is a beast. I strongly suggest anybody who's starting to need a marketing plan just to get little.
Check that out.
Get her books. She is a marketing genius.
And she has a lot of books on here.
Things. She is a beast.
How to monetize making digital products.
Yes. Like,
Uncloned.
She makes planners. She got
one for custom branded apparel.
She does everything.
Yeah.
And she does like $10,000. She packaged her.
Wow.
She is a beast. And she moved to Atlanta. Her business has grown.
Yeah, she's in Atlanta. See, she got all kind of merch. She got book bags and all kind of stuff.
And when you see her on her YouTube, like I'm telling you, when she do live stream, let me tell you something. When I did the planning with her, I paid for her genius. For the 2021 planning for my business for next year. She did a marketing thing. It was on Saturday for 2 hours. She talked just like me and you were talking. And she had sent out to us a workbook that we could print out and use along with additional worksheets. And she went through the whole plan with you on how to start your, how to market and how to, what you need to dump, what you need to keep, how to monetize it. And she had on her shirt. She had on a cup. She had her cup. It had like the Unclone.
Girl, that's what I be drinking. I got my coffee cup right over there with the hood table on it.
I don't even care. You drinking air. Just use that cup.
I'll be like with my pinky up.
and had it. That's what she did. She's like, yes, and this is in my store too or something. She said she didn't even used to like even put any like effort into her merchandise store because she was just really focused on helping people market. And she realized that she was making. She said her first year she made like $18,000 and didn't even realize. And now it's like double, triple, quadruple that because she actually started putting extra. But that was just because she just wanted to it wasn't her biggest thing.
But see, you'd be surprised how many people want to rep you.
Right. And I
like,
mean,
I always
has die-hard followers. Because I was kind of like, okay, because her logo is like you know how you see Lucy the sheep, the one they cloned it. Hers is a sheep, and I think the logo's name is Unclone.
Yeah, Unclone. Yeah.
So she got little pins and stickers. These women, and it's mostly women, Black women who follow her, but I think I've seen some men in there too.
Yeah.
Women rep her hard. Like, and she said in the thing that Ming Lee, somebody told Ming Lee, I don't know if you know who Ming Lee is.
Yeah.
Right? Ming Lee, she said she had commented under her Instagram, said, "Oh, I like pie too." I'll just say it was a pie post. I don't know. And she was like, she's actually worked because Ming Lee responded and said, "Oh, I've heard about you." And she worked with Ming Lee after that, set up a whole marketing plan for her. I'm telling you, if you want some knowledge, she's not cheap, but she guarantees results. And I like, I'm in her little group, and it's like $80 or $90 a month, but it's well worth it. And it's not just her, but there are other people, and you're asking questions and providing knowledge. It is amazing.
I'm gonna have to check that out, and I'll pin that 2216 said pin that link. I'll pin that all the different links we talked about. I will pin in the description box of this video.
And the Biz Lawyer, that's another one too.
The Biz Lawyer. Oh yeah, that's one. I think you told me about that one. Yeah, Biz Lawyer.
That's who's doing my trademark. Yes.
Yep.
So I got.
Yeah, we gave out a lot of information tonight.
Hey, if you need anything, you can just call me, message me, whatever. I'm always available for you.
And I appreciate it.
I'm so proud. Like I think you're doing amazing. And I'll be like you one day.
Thank you.
All you gotta do is help me get this link.
I'm telling you, it's done. It's already done. It's already done.
Yes.
And make sure you get your photos ready and everything that you want to do for your YouTube, because I'm gonna show you how to do all that.
Girl. I feel I'm getting all jittery again. I'm like, you need to do a course.
It's exciting because it's like, I tell everybody who has like a business, whether you do nails, you do hair, daycare, auto mechanic. I have a cousin who's into cars, rebuilding cars and going to car shows. And he always be talking to me like, man, you need to have me on your show about my cars. No, you need to do your own YouTube channel and go to these car shows and stuff. I mean, of course, I don't have them on mine too.
Right.
But I mean, people be sleeping on YouTube because it's not a valuable information website, but you can monetize things that you like to do.
And there are people who have become YouTube stars off of
YouTube.
But I didn't.
You come out millions of subscribers and making. I mean, I know some YouTubers who bring in over 50 G's a month.
Wow.
Okay. And that counts for your commercials, that counts for your merchandise, that counts for your super chats, your PayPals, your cash. That counts for, a lot of that.
Yes, that's saying you have so much knowledge that I'm just like, because I'm just dipping my toe into the YouTube lake or whatever. I have no idea really how to monetize it, but now people in the nail industry have really monetized it. And all I want to do is just bring knowledge to, just to make sure that us Black nail techs are able to be seen, and they're out there, trust and believe. But I want to have like a directory of where you can find this. And I'm actually I need my YouTube channel to do I have it dope ass salon of the month, dope ass of the month. So
and you know what's gonna come next, right?
Right, what?
All your own nail polishes, brushes, nail cases, nail kits, all that. See, when you talk about that branding.
Yes, and I'm telling you, Audrey Richmond, I promise you, if you don't do nothing, if you don't take nothing else from me today, put your foundation together and follow Audrey Richmond.
I got her. I'll follow her right now. I already hit her up on IG.
She's a beast. When I tell you, follow her, stalk her, whatever you do. If anything, like, I'm telling you, she is a beast. But that's why I'm like, my YouTube channel, I need it because I need to be able to do the dope ass nail tech, dope ass, like we're gonna talk.
Yeah, we will. And then we can be coming onto your channel and watching you, and you can invite me on your channel and we can talk.
Yes. I'm definitely inviting. You have no, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but you will be on at the nail table. That's
I will be there. I will be there.
Little thing. The hood table at the nail table.
Hey.
Because I'm sitting here like, ooh, tell me more. I'm telling you, you have some knowledge. You need to package that. That might be packaged. Genius is probably where I heard it from Roger Richmond. I don't know, girl. I'm telling you, I listen to so many different podcasts of people who are marketing people. But Audrey, she's my favorite. She's my absolute favorite. I'm a fan.
Well, she about to be my favorite. And I'm gonna put her link down there, and then I'm gonna put your IG and your Facebook and your podcast. And before this weekend, we're gonna hook up so we can get your YouTube channel. Because what I always like to do with people who I help with their YouTube channels is when I go live, when I do shows, I always tell people, make sure you subscribe to this person. So because it does take one thing about YouTube world to get support, you definitely have to give support to get your subscribers up.
Yes.
So we in the YouTube sector that I am, a lot of us support each other. A lot of people say, go to this person, go to this, and we share each other's videos and all that kind of stuff so people can so
tell me I'm telling you, I'm excited because I'm just like, like, oh my gosh.
So, love you too, 2216. She said, love y'all.
And you're right on the street, so we need to be able to link up.
Y'all gonna have to hook up. Y'all definitely gonna have to hook up. But I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Everybody commenting in the chat. The people who shared the video, hit the like button. I see the likes on here, y'all. So thanks for hitting the like button. And y'all, Martine Mayo, the nail nerd, she is going to have a YouTube channel very soon. But for now, I will put in the links to her IG, her podcast, her Facebook, her website, all that stuff in the description box of this video. And then once the YouTube channel is created, I'll also hook y'all up with that information as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
At the nail table.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you. I know you was a busy woman. I am a busy woman. We doing all kind of things, lately. So I really appreciate you taking the time out and gracing us.
It's been a work. We've been trying to do this for like a year. So
I know.
So we got it together.
Yes,
we did. So much for having me on. I really
no problem. Thank you, hon. And we will talk soon. And you have a wonderful night.
You too, lady.
All right. Love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.